chef and co-owner of the famous Noma restaurant in Denmark, Rene Redzepi. Rene, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How's your trip going? Are you a bit tired?
I feel all right. It was a bit late last night, but I feel good.
I assume Rene's not a particularly Danish name, is it?
No, I guess not. Even though there are plenty of people called Rene in Denmark today, but my father is from the former Yugoslavia.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Tell us, what did you have to eat for dinner last night?
We went to Rose's, the Italian little place, Rose's Corner.
I don't know. Do you know?
Rose's Cantina.
Rose's Cantina, excuse me. Yeah. And I think we had the whole everything that was on the list, actually, the whole cart. And there was particularly a ravioli with tomatoes and white wine. It was so good. And the quail in masala, spectacular.
Noma, I mean, I know that Ferran has shut El Bulli. Noma is still up and going in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get a booking?
It still is very hard. We have 11 tables, and there's people all over the world. And funny enough, we actually do have Aussies every day, lunch and dinner.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's so many Aussies visiting Denmark these days.
Well, you've got Aussies on your staff, haven't you?
Yeah, 5 of them. 3 of them are actually some of the most important staff members. There's 2 sous chefs in the kitchen, and then we have a restaurant manager. None from Melbourne, unfortunately. One from Adelaide. And one from Sydney, and the third I simply can't remember where's he from, but I think it's from Perth.
Rene, if you're fortunate enough to get a booking at this, it's the most famous restaurant in the world. If I got a booking there, what would I order in order to have the full Noma experience? What would you suggest that I eat?
Well, there's only one thing to choose from. We've making that choice from you.
You don't get a choice.
No, there's only one menu. We used to have a huge menu with a la carte, different menus to choose from. And then what happened in 2010 is that we were crowned the #1 best restaurant in the world. And ever since that day, literally, it was a quick shift. We simply stopped having people wanting a 2-3 course meal. Everybody, and it was 100% the day after, started taking the big menu and also ordering more. You know, they wanted to sit the whole evening simply. So, yeah.
So do you have entree and main course, or just one course?
No. The best seasonal offerings, between 15 dishes, 18, 20, 22. It varies quite a bit according to the season, but no less than 15.
What are you serving at the moment?
At the moment, the urchin is in season. Huge, wonderful, juicy, succulent urchins that are sweet like oysters and briny like mussels. That is starting to go into season now. All the shellfish are becoming very good.
You worked under Ferran at El Bulli, which at one stage was the best restaurant in the world, and Thomas Keller at the French Kitchen in the USA, in California, which was French Laundry, which was once again awarded the best restaurant in the world. And now you've taken over from those two, and you've won it 3 times in a row. How does that make you feel?
Pretty good.
Hey, listen, if Ross went to your restaurant, would you serve him that, which is in one of the photographs in your book?
The lamb testicles, that could very easily happen. Certainly the scallops, they could come in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ross likes scallops, but the lamb's testicles, I don't think he's had.
No. Well, the thing is, we try to get whole animals in, and of course, we make it not just a statement, but we try to cook everything on it. To use everything. We are cooks. We should be able to cook a delicious meal out of everything, even testicles.
You were here as part of the Age's Good Food Month, which is November, but also to talk about your book package, I guess is the best way of saying it. It's journals, recipes, and snapshots. Yeah. What is it about Danes and design? They're synonymous, aren't they? I mean, look at your journal. It is just...
There is something...
An Australian journal would not look like that. No. That just is just a work of beauty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's always been this design for aesthetics. What's interesting in our case, what's happening on the restaurant scene, on the food scene, is that we've had decades and decades of traditions in making aesthetics, beautiful tables, chairs, cutlery, glasses. but we haven't had much relationship to what we actually put on those things.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing, that there is also a food movement and a cooking movement. So when those two sort of combine, in the case of a book, it looks pretty good.
Does it what? And the other thing, of course, is Danish television.
Yeah.
That sort of is really strong at the moment. The Killing, The Bridge, Borgen. It's the best television in the world.
Yeah, and they were just here in Sydney, actually.
What the people who made those series.
Yeah, and the funny thing, the guy who did Borgen, who wrote it, he used to be the #1 food critic as well.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
in Denmark.
It's absolutely... have you ever had a Big Mac?
That's many years ago. I believe I was 18 or 19, and I was in Rome near the Spanish Steps. I was hungry. I didn't have any money, and that's what I could afford. But I remember after an hour, I regretted it because I was hungry again. And I thought to myself, why didn't I just buy some carrots?
It is 90% air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if I come to your restaurant, which I'm going to do, and have... If I can get in... don't worry, I'll suck up to you. And I had the 15 courses and matching wines. Do you do that as well? How much would it cost me?
In Aussie dollars, I'm not too sure, but the whole thing would cost you around 2,000 kroners, and the dollar is about 6, so that would be about around $300.
We can do that. How much is 200 kroners? Someone will stick it into the system. Ella Cart saw you speak at the Good Food Month launch on Tuesday night, and she came back and told me about this fabulous quote you had, which I had to talk to some people here about yesterday, and I used the quote because it just struck me as being 100% true, and that is the quote that says, there is only one thing that can destroy creativity, and that's is...
success.
Success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because...
it's so limiting, actually.
Because it makes you want to play safe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Success, you reach something and you become even attached to it, and then you want to protect that. And suddenly your decisions are not as free and as creative as they were before, and you're constantly thinking, will this keep my success intact? Is it safe enough? And so that was one of the reasons for writing the journal, actually, to get out of that funk and just play around again, like there's nothing to lose, essentially.
We thank you so much for your time, Rene. The restaurant is called Noma, Noma. The book, if you like, is called A Work in Progress by Rene Redzepi, Journals, Recipes and Snapshots. And Rene is also in town to launch the Age's Good Food Month, which is the month of November. Have fun in Melbourne.
Thank you.
Patchy drizzle in the morning, sunny periods developing during the afternoon. That could be your weather forecast for Copenhagen. Top of 19 degrees, currently 13. You're listening to 3AW Breakfast for Dodo Gas and Electricity. Save up to 30% off electricity usage rates. Call 13Dodo. Top of 19 degrees Celsius. Is that a good day or a bad day in Copenhagen?
Oh, during spring, that's a smashing day.
It's 17 after 8.